Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's Takes with Alex. I'm your host, Alex. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's locked in. Okay. Today's video is titled When Nations Forget Their Purpose. The spiritual warnings for the book of Deuteronomy, or Devarim. Throughout history, nations rise with noble ideals and eventually drift from their founding purpose. They forget who they are meant to be. They lose their moral compass, and in time, the consequences become clear. The Torah, in the book of Devarim, offers powerful warnings about this very danger. Moses, speaking to the next generation on the edge of the promised land, urges them not to forget the lessons of the past. Today we explore the spiritual significance of when nations forget their purpose. This teaching is universal for every person who cares about the health of societies and the direction of human civilization. Rooted in the eternal Torah and illuminated by the insightful wisdom of Hasidic masters, we will discover that forgetting our higher purpose is one of the greatest dangers any people can face, and remembering it is the path to renewal. In the book of Devarim, Moses delivers his final speeches to the Jewish people. He recounts the entire journey, the miracles, the mistakes, the lessons learned in the wilderness. He does this not merely as history, but as a solemn warning. Do not forget where you came from, why you were redeemed, and what you are called to become. Moses repeatedly cautions them against the danger of prosperity and success, leading to spiritual forgetfulness. When they enter the land, build homes, and enjoy abundance, they must not say in their hearts, "My own power and the strength of my hand have made me this wealth." Forgetting God and their higher purpose would lead to moral decline and eventual loss. The Torah presents this as a universal pattern. Nations, like individuals, thrive when they remember their divine mission to pursue justice, compassion, and holiness. When they forget, they begin to worship false gods, power, wealth, comfort, or ideology, and the spiritual foundation crumbles. Devarim is a timeless call to collective memory and moral vigilance. Hasidic masters saw this warning as deeply relevant to every generation. The Baal Shem Tov taught that forgetfulness is one of the greatest spiritual dangers. When a people or a person forgets their divine purpose, they lose their connection to the source of all blessing. Material success then becomes a trap rather than a blessing. The Alter Rebbe emphasized that true remembrance is not intellectual alone. It is a living awareness that God is present in every aspect of life. When nations forget this, they begin to rely on their own power, leading to arrogance, injustice, and eventual decline. Yet the same Torah that warns also offers hope. The path of return is always open. The path to alignment is always open. Collective forgetfulness can be healed through sincere remembrance and renewed commitment to higher ideals. In Hasidic thought, this process of forgetting and remembering is part of the great cosmic drama. Every descent into spiritual forgetfulness creates the opportunity for a deeper return. The sparks of holiness hidden in exile and confusion are elevated when a people or an individual chooses once again to remember their sacred purpose. The spiritual warning about nations forgetting their purpose offers every person in every society important lessons. It reveals the danger of success without soul. Prosperity without remembrance of higher purpose leads to moral drift and eventual emptiness. It highlights the power of collective memory. A people that remembers its founding values and divine mission maintains its strength and direction. It calls us to personal and national alignment. Forgetting is not the end. Sincere return can restore light and purpose. It inspires vigilance and responsibility. Each generation must actively choose to remember and live by higher ideals. It points toward ultimate redemption. The prophets promise that a time will come when humanity as a whole remembers its divine purpose and the world is filled with knowledge of God. How can we live with this awareness today? Regular remembrance. Set aside time to reflect on your personal and communal purpose, why you are here, and what values guide you. Teach the next generation. Pass on stories, values, and lessons so they do not forget the deeper meaning of life. Guard against spiritual drift. Stay alert to when success, comfort, or ideology begin to replace higher purpose. Choose remembrance daily. In decisions, ask, does this choice align with my higher purpose? Support collective renewal. Encourage conversations in your community about shared values and moral direction. Live with hopeful realism. Acknowledge problems while actively working toward remembrance and return. The spiritual warning, Devarim, about forgetting our purpose calls us to stay awake. Nations and individuals thrive when they remember who they are and why they exist. When they forget, they lose their way. When they remember, they return to light. This week, take time to reflect on your own purpose and on the higher values that guide you. Choose one way to live more consciously in alignment with that purpose. If this teaching stirred something important in your heart, share in the comments what helps you remember your higher purpose in challenging times. Like if these words brought clarity, inspiration to your soul. Subscribe for more explorations of Torah and Hasidic wisdom made alive for our time and turn on notifications. May we remember our sacred purpose. May we choose life with clarity and courage. Until next time, stay awake, remember well, and let your life help bring the world back to its true light. Everyone, stay healthy, stay happy, stay blessed. Have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks so much.